Hey everybody, AD Jackson 330 here, and today I wanted to talk to you all about some ways that I incorporate planning techniques into keeping my household running smoothly and keeping everyone on track. So let's get started. So in addition to my daily planner and my phone, I also use a large wall calendar to keep track of everything in my household. And I like to keep this in the kitchen so that it's in a central location, the whole family can see it. I like to think of it as a monthly planner insert that the entire family is actually allowed to touch. And I always make sure to get the ones that have a really large writing space for each day. Ideally, I like to get the ones that have lines on each day, but this is the one that I have, so I'm going to work with it. And what makes this so functional for my family is this color code key that I made to go with it. And right now it's just on printer paper, but this will be laminated and stuck on the wall next to the calendar for the more forgetful members of the family. So I've assigned a color to each person in the household and all of the random other categories that we need. So I have payday, bills due, HOA, birthday, holiday, trash, my husband, my son, myself, and other miscellaneous appointments. And this can be customized to whatever your family's needs may be. And I just made this using a free online editor. It was really simple to do that. And for the colors, I just used, I tried to match as much as I could to the Sharpie Ultrafine Permanent markers that I already had, since this is what I'll be writing with on my calendar each month. So I just pull out the coordinating colors, jot everything down, and it's super easy to just glance at the calendar and see who has an event when, who it applies to. It's just been a breeze with this. I also like to use this small magnetic weekly calendar that I picked up at the Target dollar spot a while back, and I keep this on the front of my fridge, and a few different dry erase markers so I can color code this as well. I don't have as big of a selection of the dry erase markers as I do the Sharpies, so I kind of just use red for bills, green for paydays, black I use to write the dates over here, and then blue for pretty much everything else. And this just helps bring in the focus a little bit more because we have the monthly calendar next to the fridge and this directly on the front of the fridge. So you can see, okay, what's going on in the month to the side, and right here you see what's going on this week. It just makes it a little bit easier to keep track of all of that. And I will really quickly show you what an example week might look like for us. Okay, so this is just an example, or a mock spread, if you will, of what any various week may look like on the front of my fridge using this weekly calendar. And it just makes it so simple to look and see, okay, we've got 2 bills due, we have a payday on the 5th, we've got 2 appointments, and then just so on and so forth. And it just really helps to bring the focus in, you know, not so much looking at the monthly calendar of what all needs to be done every month, but breaks it down into what needs to be done this week. So that's been very helpful for us. And since the fridge is kind of my family's command center area, I also utilize another dry erase board. And this is just your very basic, very cheap, found at Walmart dry erase board. It's pretty small. And I use this to track my list and my daily to-dos. So I will show you an example of that really quick. Okay, so here is this, and I try to update it every day so that it stays current. The list may vary from time to time, from to do, to buy, to go, to call, just whatever happens to be needed. All of the normal lists we always keep in our planners anyways. And you know, you try to get everything done, but life can sometimes throw a monkey wrench in your plans, and you don't always finish it. So the good thing about having it on a dry erase board is that when you do finish a task, you can simply wipe it off. And then we all know, as planners, how much fun it is to mark off our to-do list, and then the rest of the tasks stay on there for the next day. Another thing that really helps to keep my family on track is trackers. They have a ton of free printable versions on Pinterest, but if you're like me and couldn't find something that fit all of your needs, you can make your own. So I made these two using the Pages app on my MacBook. I knew that I wanted 2 separate trackers, but I wanted them to match, and I'm sure you all know how important that is. I have a task tracker and a bill tracker. Now these two are my test sheets, and they're both just printed on regular printed paper, or printer paper, sorry. So for the task tracker, this is where I list all of those tasks that aren't done very frequently, you know, maybe cleaning out the pantry, pulling weeds, stuff like that, and then a checklist for every month of the year. It just makes it really easy to check the side of the fridge and see, okay, well, we have not deep cleaned the washing machine in 2 months, so that's something that desperately needs to be done. It just makes it really easy to keep track of that. For bill trackers, I have a few different areas for this. I have the due date section, and for this, I keep everything in order. So I'll start with the first bill that's due, which is my mortgage bill on the 1st of the month, and go all the way down to my last bill of the month, which is the credit card bill on the 18th. And that really helps like this. Just if you have separate paychecks, coming in at different times of the month, you can see, okay, well, I'll get a paycheck on the 9th, so all of the bills from the 1st to the 8th need to be paid prior to that check. And all of the bills after can be paid, once I get paid on the 9th. It just kind of helps with that, if that makes any sense. And then you have a space here to write the names of the bills, and then the amount of the bills goes here. And that can be a little bit harder to track for things that vary month to month, like electricity or water bills, but normally I just write an estimate over here. And then a place to check it off every single month. And this also helps because our electricity bill has a due date that fluctuates anywhere between the 4th and the 10th of the month. So as soon as I pay it, I put a check mark here. And that makes it easy to go back and reference if I get paid later in the month, okay, did I pay this already, or was this having to wait till the second paycheck? So, we can make sure that we're not missing any bills on that. So since these are on regular printer paper, I did also make the actual copies that will be being used and on the side of my fridge, and I printed those on some thick cardstock so that they will hold up throughout the entire year. And I like everything to be neat and to match, so I did fill out all of this using the Pages app. So I've got all of my due dates, the bills that are due. I'll cover up the amount that we pay every month. That's too much to discuss right now. Then we have over here all of the different tasks that I would like to accomplish each month. And I won't read it, but I will scroll through it in case you are interested in making a tracker and are looking for some different ideas to add to yours. So these are very helpful. I'm hoping to incorporate them and make sure that they are used and followed throughout 2018 and get my family involved, since it's as simple as, looking at the list and seeing what needs to be done. So I'm sure that you can tell by now that I am the kind of person who has to write things down multiple times to be able to remember them. So I'll be utilizing all of these, as well as my phone calendar and my daily planner, of course. And I'm hoping that when used consistently, all of these will be very functional and help me keep on top of everything, keep everybody on track, and keep my household running smoothly. Now, it would also be great if this monthly task tracker inspired other members of the family to pitch in, surprise mom by checking a few things off the list. Fingers crossed anyways. And I realize that a lot of these things that I've listed on here are things that people already track in their daily planners, but spouses and children may not always have access to those. So this is just keeping everything in a central location, easily accessible to everyone in the family, and hopefully increasing productivity throughout the year. I wanted to try something different for this video, and hopefully you enjoyed watching and found it even a tiny bit helpful. If you have any tried and true tricks or tips or ways that you include planner techniques in running your household, please be sure to leave them in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!